Dear students, today we will discuss about the status and scope of fisheries. Fisheries refer to the activities related to the harvesting, processing and management of fish and other aquatic organisms. This includes both wild fisheries, where fish are caught in their natural environment, and aquaculture, which involves the farming of fish and other aquatic species in controlled environments. Commercial fisheries, about 10% of the total capture, include wild fisheries, and fish farms, about 90% in freshwater and saltwater habitats. Fisheries provide living to nearly 500 million people throughout the world. The major fishing industries are not only owned by major corporations but by small families as well. In order to adapt to declining fish populations and increased demand, many commercial fishing operations have reduced the sustainability of their harvest by fishing further down the food chain. This raises concern for fishery managers and researchers who highlight how further they say that for those reasons the sustainability of the marine ecosystems could be in danger of collapsing. Commercial fishermen harvest a wide variety of animals. However, a very small number of species support the majority of the world's fisheries. Of these species are herring, cod, anchovy, tuna, flounder, mullet, squid, shrimp, salmon, crab, lobster, oyster, and scallops. All except these last four provided a worldwide catch of well over 1 million tons in 1999, with herring and sardines together providing a catch of over 22 million metric tons in 1999. Many other species are fished in small numbers. The fishing industry includes any industry or activity that takes, cultures, processes, preserves, stores, transports, markets, or sells fish or fish products. It's defined by the Food and Agriculture Organization as including recreational, subsistence, and commercial fishing, as well as the related harvesting, processing, and marketing sectors. The commercial activity is aimed at the delivery of fish and other sea products for human consumption or as input factors in other industrial processes. The livelihood of over 500 million people in developing countries depends directly or indirectly on fisheries and aquaculture. India is the third largest fish producing country and the second largest aquaculture fish producer in the world. India contributes about 7% to the global fish production. The country is also home to more than 10% of the global fish biodiversity and is one of the 17 mega biodiversity rich countries. Around 14 million people are engaged in fisheries and its allied activities. Andhra Pradesh is the largest fish producer in the country, followed by West Bengal and Gujarat. The total fish production during 2017 and 18 is estimated to be 12.60 million metric tons, of which nearly 70% is from inland sector and about 50% of the total production is from culture fisheries. More than 50 different types of fish and shellfish products are being exported to 75 countries around the world. Fish and fish products have presently emerged as the largest group in agricultural exports from India, with 13.77 lakh tons in terms of quantity. This accounts for around 10% of the total exports and nearly 20% of the agricultural exports and contribute to about 0.91% of the GDP and 5.23% to the agricultural GV of the country. Sectors. The fish industry has three principal sectors that include recreational, subsistence, and commercial fishing. The commercial sector. The commercial sector comprises enterprises and individuals associated with wild catch or aquaculture resources and the various transformations of those resources into products for sale. It's also referred to as the seafood industry, although non-food items such as pearls are included among its products. The traditional sector. The traditional sector comprises enterprises and individuals associated with fisheries resources from which aboriginal people derive products. In accordance with their traditions, the recreational sector. It comprises enterprises and individuals associated for the purpose of recreation, sport, or sustenance with fisheries resources, from which products are derived that are not for sale. Methods and gear. Commercial fishing uses many different methods to effectively catch a large variety of species, including the use of pole and line, trolling with multiple lines, trawling with large nets such as seine netting and traps or pods. Sustainability of fisheries is improved by using specific equipment that eliminates or minimizes catching non-targeted species. Fishing methods vary according to the region, the species being fished for, and the technology available to the fisherman. A commercial fishing enterprise may vary from one man with a small boat with hand casting nets or a few pod traps to a huge fleet of trawlers processing tons of fish every day. Commercial fishing gears in use today include surrounding nets, that is purse seine, seine nets, beach seine, trawls, bottom trawl, dredges, hooks and lines, lift nets, gill nets, entangling nets, pole and line and traps. Commercial fishing gear is specifically designed and updated to avoid catching certain species of animal that is unwanted or endangered. Billions of dollars are spent each year in researching, developing new techniques to reduce the injury and even death of unwanted marine animals that are caught by the fisherman. In fact, there was a study taken in 2000 on different deterrents and how effective they are at deterring the target species. The study showed that most auditory deterrents helped prevent whales from being caught, while more physical barriers helped prevent birds from getting tangled within the net. Fisheries play a crucial role in global food security, providing a significant source of protein and essential nutrient for billions of people. The status and scope of fisheries are dynamic, influenced by factors such as environmental change, technological advancements, regulatory measures, and societal demands. This comprehensive review explores the current status of fisheries worldwide, examining key challenges and opportunities, and projecting the future scope of this vital sector. Status of fisheries. Global overview. Overfishing concerns remains a primary threat to the sustainability of fisheries globally. The intensification of fishing activities has led to the depletion of many fish stocks, disrupting marine ecosystems and jeopardizing the livelihoods of fishing communities. Change in society's lifestyle, the development of urbanization, excess consumption, and waste of human make our planet struggle and face everyday drastic effects on certain ecologies and biospheres. Nowadays, the increase of world population that is demanding more seafood and fish than ever creates a serious and global concern, which is the unsustainable fishing that results in overfishing. Overfishing is a relatively new phenomenon that makes our oceans under pressure to meet the needs of growing populations in developing countries and a growing appetite for fish and seafood in developed nations. Today, The rapid and modern development in fish technology, such as the massive factory ships, global positioning systems, and techniques that allow ships to deploy hooks and nets at tremendous depths, make it easy to capture more fish and put the fish stock in decline. Actually, nearly 90% of the world fish population are fully exploited, overexploited, or depleted. In recent years, the global consequences of overfishing have been the focus of scientists, economists, and policymakers. Overfishing is a contemporary issue that will continue and will cause fishless oceans by 2048 if humans keep fishing at the current pace. Overfishing is not only affecting the simple status of fish populations and economic viability of fisheries, but it also results in much broader impacts on global food security, social stability, cultural survival, and even national security. Illegal, unreported, and unregulated fishing. IUU fishing continues to undermine efforts to manage and conserve fisheries. The illicit nature of these activities make it challenging to monitor and control, posing a significant threat to the health of marine ecosystems. Collaborative international efforts are essential to address this issue and enforce regulations that combat IUU fishing. Illegal fishing, conducted by national or foreign vessels in the waters under the jurisdiction of a state without the permission of that state or in contravention of its laws and regulations. Conducted by vessels flying the flag of states that are parties to a relevant regional fisheries management organization but operate in contravention of the conservation and management measures adopted by that organization and by which the states are bound or relevant provisions of the applicable international law, or in violation of national laws or international obligations, including those undertaken by cooperating states to a relevant regional fisheries management organization. Unreported fishing, which have not been reported or have been misreported to the relevant national authority, in contravention of national laws and regulations, or are undertaken in the area of competence of a relevant regional fisheries management organization which have not been reported or have been misreported, in contravention of reporting procedures of that organization. Unregulated fishing, in the area of application of a relevant fisheries management organization that are conducted by vessels without nationality or by those flying the flag of a state not party to that organization, or by a fishing entity in a manner that is not consistent with or contravenes the conservation and management measures of that organization, or in areas or for fish stocks in relation to which there are no applicable conservation or management measures, and where such fishing activities are conducted in a manner inconsistent with state responsibilities for the conservation of living marine resources under international law. IUU fishing undermines national and regional efforts to conserve and manage fish stocks, and as a consequence, it inhibits progress towards achieving the goals of long-term sustainability and responsibility. Moreover, IUU fishing greatly disadvantages and discriminates against those fishers that act responsibly, honestly, and in accordance with the terms of their fishing authorizations. If IUU fishers target vulnerable stocks that are subject to strict management controls or moratoria, efforts to rebuild those stocks to healthy levels will not be achieved, threatening marine biodiversity, food security for communities who rely on fisheries resources for protein and the livelihood of those involved in the sector. Sustainable fisheries management. There is a growing recognition of the importance of sustainable fisheries management. Many countries and regions are adopting ecosystem-based approaches, considering the interconnectedness of marine species and habitats. Sustainable management practices include the establishment of marine protected areas, the implementation of science-based regulations, and community engagement in decision-making processes. Ensuring a sustainable fishery requires transparent and inclusive institutions that can enforce limits on exploitation, engage stakeholders, and design incentives that align public and private benefits. Sustainable fisheries management is a critical approach to ensure the long-term health and viability of marine ecosystems and the livelihoods of those dependent on them. It involves employing strategies that balances the extraction of fishery resources with the need to preserve biodiversity and ecosystem resilience. One key aspect of sustainable fisheries management is the implementation of science-based quotas and regulations. These measures aim to prevent overfishing by establishing limits on the amount of fish that can be caught, ensuring that fish populations have the opportunity to reproduce and replenish their numbers. Additionally, the adoption of selective and environmentally friendly fishing gear is crucial. By minimizing bycatch and habitat damage, these practices reduce the impact of fishing activities on non-target species and the broader marine environment. Community involvement and stakeholder collaboration are integral components of sustainable fisheries management. Engaging local communities in decision-making processes fosters a sense of responsibility and encourages the adoption of conservation practices. Moreover, partnerships between governments, industry, and non-governmental organizations are essential for the development and enforcement of effective policies. Continuous monitoring and adaptive management are also vital. Regular assessments of fish stocks and ecosystem health help in adjusting management strategies in response to changing environmental conditions and scientific knowledge. Ultimately, sustainable fisheries management seeks to achieve a balance between human needs and environmental conservation, ensuring that future generations can continue to benefit from the valuable resources provided by our oceans. Aquaculture growth. Aquaculture, also known as aquafarming, is the cultivation of aquatic organisms under controlled conditions for various purposes including food production, conservation, research, and ornamental fish trade. Aquaculture involves the breeding, rearing, and harvesting of fish, mollusks, crustaceans, and aquatic plants in environments such as ponds, tanks, cages, or open water systems. The aquaculture sector has experienced significant growth as a response to increasing global demand for seafood. Fish farming or aquaculture provides an alternative to traditional wild capture fisheries. Sustainable aquaculture practices aim to reduce pressures on wild fish stocks, minimize environmental impact, and meet the rising demand for seafood in a responsible manner. Climate change impact. Climate change poses a multifaceted challenge to fisheries. Changes in ocean temperatures, currents, and the acidification of marine environments can alter the distribution and abundance of fish stocks. Adaptive measures such as the development of climate-resilient fisheries management strategies are essential to mitigate the impact of climate change on global fisheries. Adaptation and mitigation strategies are crucial to address the impacts of climate change on fisheries. This includes implementing sustainable fisheries management practices, protecting critical habitats, developing climate-resilient aquaculture methods, and considering the socio-economic aspects of climate change impacts on fishing communities. International collaboration is essential to address these challenges and ensure the long-term sustainability of global fisheries. Opportunities and innovations in fisheries. Technological advancements. The fisheries sector has witnessed significant technological advancements that enhance both the efficiency and sustainability of fishing operations. Satellite monitoring, artificial intelligence, and data analytics are being employed to track fishing activities, monitor fish stocks, and reduce bycatch. These technologies contribute to more informed decision making and improved resource management. Aquaculture advancements. Technological integration. Implementing advanced technologies such as Internet of Things, artificial intelligence, and automation in aquacultural operations can improve efficiency, monitor water quality, and enhance production. Selective breeding. Developing and applying selective breeding techniques to enhance the genetic traits of aquatic species, making them more resilient, disease resistant, and productive. Selective fishing gear. Selective fishing gear refers to the equipment or methods that target specific species or sizes of fish while minimizing the capture of non-target species or undersized individuals. This approach is crucial for promoting sustainable fisheries by reducing bycatch and avoiding the overexploitation of the vulnerable species. Innovations in fishing gear aim to minimize bycatch and reduce the ecological impact of fishing. Selective gear technology such as turtle excluder devices and circle hooks help target specific species while minimizing the unintentional capture of non-target species. Sustainable fishing practices increasingly involve the adoption of these technologies to promote responsible harvesting. Blockchain technology in seafood traceability. Blockchain technology in seafood traceability is being implemented to enhance transparency and traceability in the seafood supply chain. By providing a secure and immutable record of every step in the production and distribution process, blockchain ensures that consumers can access accurate information about the origin and sustainability of the seafood they purchase. Alternative seafood sources. The development of alternative seafood sources such as plant-based and cell-based seafood presents a promising avenue for meeting global demand while reducing the environmental impact of traditional fisheries. These innovative approaches offer sustainable and ethical alternatives, addressing concerns related to overfishing and environmental degradation. Some alternative seafood sources that are gaining attention are plant-based seafood. Companies are developing plant-based seafood alternatives using ingredients like algae, seaweed, and other plant proteins to replicate the taste and texture of the traditional seafood products. Algae-based products. Algae are rich in nutrients and can be used to create plant-based seafood products, including alternatives to fish oil and omega-3 supplements. Mussels, oysters, and clams. Bivalve farming involves cultivating filter feeding shellfish such as mussels, oysters, and clams. These species can help improve water quality and are considered environmentally sustainable. Edible seaweed. Seaweed is a nutrient-rich food source that can be used in a variety of seafood alternatives, including seaweed-based snacks, plant-based sushi, and other plant-based seafood products. Algae oil. Algae-derived oils can be used as sustainable alternative to traditional fish oil, providing essential omega-3 fatty acids. Challenges and future outlook. Ocean governance and international cooperation. International cooperation is essential for developing and implementing effective policies, regulations, and management strategies that safeguard the health and sustainability of the world's oceans. It requires collaborations among governments, international organizations, non-governmental organizations, the private sector, and local communities to address common challenges and achieve shared goals. The ongoing commitment to global ocean governance is crucial for the well-being of marine ecosystems and the sustainable use of marine resources. The management of transboundary fish stocks requires effective ocean governance and international cooperation. Strengthening regional fisheries management organizations and fostering collaborations among nations are essential for the sustainable management of shared fishery resources. Community engagement and social dimensions. Recognizing the social dimensions of fisheries is crucial for sustainable management. Involving local communities in decision-making processes, respecting traditional knowledge, and addressing the socio-economic challenges faced by fishing community are integral aspects of achieving long-term sustainability in the sector. Ecosystem-based approaches. Ecosystem-based approach to fisheries management recognize the interconnectedness of marine ecosystems and aim to maintain or restore the health, resilience, and productivity of these ecosystems, while supporting sustainable fisheries. Instead of focusing solely on individual species or stocks, EBFM considers the broader ecological context and the interactions between different components of the marine environment. The adoption of ecosystem-based approaches to fisheries management is gaining prominence. Recognizing the interconnectedness of marine ecosystems, these approaches consider not only individual fish stocks but also the broader ecosystem dynamics. Implementing measures such as marine spatial planning and habitat protection contributes to the resilience of marine ecosystems. Capacity building and education. Investing in capacity building and education is essential for the sustainable development of the fisheries sector. Training fisheries in sustainable practices, promoting responsible aquaculture, and educating consumers about the importance of making sustainable seafood choices contributes to the overall health of fisheries. Inclusive policies and gender equality. Inclusive policies that consider the diverse roles and contributions of men and women in the fisheries sector are critical. Promoting gender equality in fisheries governance and ensuring equal access to resources and opportunities empower communities and contribute to the sustainable management of fisheries. The status and scope of fisheries are intricately linked to global efforts to address food security, environmental conservation, and socio-economic development. While challenges such as overfishing and climate change persist, innovative solutions and sustainable practices offer hope for the future. Through international collaboration, technological advancements, and a commitment to responsible management, the fisheries sector can navigate the complexities of the 21st century, ensuring a resilient and sustainable future for marine ecosystems and the communities that depend on them. This was all for today. Hope you find this lecture informative and interesting.